What's going on, YouTube? JT is Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic book reviews. And in this video, we're going to talk about Batman issue number 6. This one's written by Matt Fraction with artwork by Jorge Jiménez. And after the last issue, there was a lot of back and forth about the ending to that. I was actually having quite a bit of fun with issue number 5. And then we got to the ending where Damian stupidly reveals out loud, calls Bruce his father while he's in the Robin suit right in front of Dr. Anika Zeller. That was just pure incompetence right there. I don't understand why we needed that in there. It feels like a forced means to kind of hurry up this sort of relationship between Bruce and this Dr. Zeller character. And it really undermines Damian's intelligence. He should be a lot smarter than this, and he should be a lot more mature than this. But I could cut a little bit of slack on some of the flashback stuff, but when we're getting to the present day stuff, I just don't think Fraction has done a really good job with Damian's character as a whole. I think that was dumb. I think that's poor writing right there. It undermines the character's intelligence. I can understand, there's some mistakes, okay, I can get, walking into a trap or something like that and not being wrong about some things, but that's just crime fighting 101. You don't blabber out loud, hey, father, while you're in the Robin suit and he's in Bruce Wayne's attire, especially since you just saved his life. You should know he's out on a date and that with the Zeller character because he found his exact location. Just a few things right there that just kind of frustrate me in terms of the writing of that particular storyline. But as it turns out, at least it seems that Dr. Zeller, she's aware that Robin is Bruce Wayne's son, but it's the way she's kind of conversing, it feels like she doesn't realize Bruce and Batman are the same person, or maybe she does. I don't know. It just, the opening of it felt a little off. Does she not realize that they're the same person or something like that? It's just one of those things where is she just not putting it together, or maybe this is just her way of trying to act like she doesn't know. I don't know. It's something a little bit off there. Damian's there. He's beating himself up for it. He's over the dumb mistakes. Phil Kennedy Johnson wouldn't have had him do that, but, Fraction's doing that here. But Bruce is talking. He's acting like a simp for the Zeller character. Meanwhile, we got some other villains in that doing their thing all over town. Harvey Bullock's there. We got the kid who saw Vandal Savage earlier on in the run planting evidence in that. And he's like, well, it looks like the cop responsible or who had this plant was kind of there or whatever as a potential witness was kind of strangled to death. So there's definitely some corruption going on within the GCPD. I mean, they're all kind of aware of it. Batman fights some of Hugo's strange monsters. That's just kind of some other stuff going on. Some cool action in there. I'll give it that. Then we get a moment between Tim and Bruce where Tim is trying to think, I can't keep this all from Bernard and all that. And I think I want to just kind of take a break from this whole thing in general. And I hope you respect that decision. And Bruce is like, hey, there's always a home for you if you ever want to come back. And he's like, thank you, Bruce. So he hugs him. And Tim seems to be kind of done with the whole superhero thing until he inevitably comes back. Maybe he breaks up with this Bernard character. You could just say they broke off panel. I mean, you did that with Stephanie Brown. I think it'd be kind of funny if they did that with Bernard. Meanwhile, Damian is kind of upset sitting in his room complaining about it. And he's calling Tim a quitter and all that. If this were Philip Kennedy Johnson's, he would kind of be more accepting of Tim doing this. I have to keep bringing that up because that book is still ongoing, but Damian's kind of a little more childish, and I guess it's just emotional coping. And if this were a few years ago, I'd kind of accept this a little bit more, but him calling Drake a quitter and all that, and I can kind of I'm kind of 50-50 on it, mainly because I have gotten the more maturization with this character as of late, where it feels like he'd be kind of cool and accepting of this, but him calling Tim a quitter and all that, and just kind of being upset with him for leaving this livelihood and all that, it feels a little bit off to me. Now, if this were before that stuff, okay, it seems a little bit more believable, but because of that growth and development we've gotten, it's just kind of a little bit off. But it also seems he's being accepted into this whole college program, but he's only 14, 15 years old. Why would you throw all those years of development and just kind of throw him into college? See, it's like we're speed running certain things. It's like we're regressing, but speed running certain aspects that were kind of set up in other stuff. And if that other stuff wasn't the more interesting things and I wasn't liking it and enjoying it and having followed it for a few years, I maybe are okay to some options, but it just feels off, if that makes sense. I don't like some of the directions we're going in this run with his character, and now that the other book's going to end, it just seems like we're going to be stuck with that in this book. So, but maybe the idea of Tim coming back as something else other than Robin, I actually like. It's kind of a much needed change of pace for him, because why do we have two Robins right now? It feels off. Give Tim a new nickname, something cool, not Drake the Duck like Michael Bendis did. Red Robin is a burger chain, and I literally ate there for my birthday a few days ago. So just give him a new name. But yeah, so it's the long nights, and there's some good moments in there. I don't know, maybe I'm just a little frustrated by some aspects of the run, but not a bad issue overall. Like I said, the idea of Tim going off and wanting to kind of take a break from the superhero thing, I get it. I like it. I like which direction we can go in. Maybe they'll, like I said, they'll have him and Bernard break up off panel, kind of like they did with Stephanie Brown. I think that would be hilarious, but I don't know. We'll see what they do with that. I'd give kudos to the writer for having the balls to do something like that. I mean, you're gonna do some crazy stuff with Damian, do some crazy stuff with Tim at that point. But yeah, so there's some good stuff. Great artwork right here from Jorge. And then the ending of the issue is Zeller talking to somebody. Does anybody know who this dude is in this, like, looking like a Darth Vader in some ways, you know, like Darth Vader with all the tubes hooked up to him? But I have no clue who that's supposed to be. It's not Joker. Joker's off doing his own thing, but is it like a character we're supposed to know? Who is it? That's the big question of this, like, weird characterization going on there. But yeah, so some good artwork. It is like some good stuff in here. Just a little frustrating stuff from the narrative as an entire whole. So but what do you all think of it? Are you liking this Fraction run? I think some people are liking it and defending some choices, and I understand that, but for me, some of it I just don't want to let it slide per se. Good artwork, good moments in here. Few things that kind of pet peeves of mine, given some of the stuff that's been going on. If you're in a shared continuity or whatever, if this were a few years ago, I'd be a little bit more accepting of some of the stuff, but because of all the stuff that I've been following for a few years now and just seeing that progression, just have somebody else come in and just kind of like, yeah, let's pull the rug out from under that. It just kind of agitates me a slight smidge. So, but again, some of it may be a little understandable, like just being upset that your brother's kind of leaving, going off and doing something else, feeling like they're abandoning you. But at the same time, like, if you want to be happy, wouldn't you be more happy seeing that from somebody kind of maturing and moving on? Because wasn't he just kind of contemplating just leaving Robin just a little bit ago? You know what I'm saying? It's off when you kind of put it all in a big giant continuity, like, because that's what it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Especially because he was considering quitting just a little bit ago anyways. So why would he be upset about Tim for doing the same thing? You know what I mean? It just... Sorry, a little bit of a rant there, but I have to say things because I've been reading other stuff for a while. I've liked some of the other stuff a lot, and then just kind of going, like, reverse of it, not reading stuff that's not quite as strong, because we know where the quality, like, the bar was at beforehand, and you see it kind of lower, you're just like, yeah, it's not working for me. That doesn't work for me, brother, or something like that. But anyways, that's all I have to say about this issue. What did you all think of it? Post your comments down below. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content, hit the bell for notifications, all of the fun stuff. I'll be back with more comic book reviews very soon, so stay tuned for that. Peace out, everyone.